What's up, everyone? We got a video. I guess I can talk about it. I guess I can share this. I'm getting older in life, and I can finally accept the fact that I can make a video like this. I might get shamed. I've shamed quite a few people over the years, I'll admit. Matt Panger, Andrew Upshaw, I've shamed y'all. I have. I've shamed y'all because it's fun. It's fun to make fun of y'all, right? I mean, when you go out there at the one, throwing this little dude, you got this little spinning rod in your hand, I like to make fun of y'all. Just because I think it's funny, really. Not because I don't think it's effective. Now, that doesn't mean I don't think that this is the end-all, end-all, right? I'm usually going to, like, I'm a guy from Texas, I want to go smash on them. And usually, that's not what I'm usually thinking about to smash on fish. And I'll be honest with you, I'm right most of the time. I will, I'm gonna admit, most of the time. However, there's, over the years of fishing multi-day events, fishing other lakes, fishing all kinds of different things, I found a use for it. I have. So I am gonna make a video about it, a small video, not a crazy video. But here's some reasons why I'm gonna make this video. I do have this in my hand. I probably have it in my hand almost every tournament for something, right? For something. And a lot of times it's maybe to catch a fish. There's a different way and different application. Lately though, it's kind of helped me out in some tournaments, I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, let's talk about it. Now, I'm not just gonna talk about the spinning rod. I gotta get that out of the way, right? The spinning rod I'm talking about is because it's funny, but there's only some things I have to throw on a spinning rod. Now, back in the day, I threw a drop shot a lot on a bait caster. And when it first came out, I used it more in an application of like casting it, like really far out and dragging it, almost like a Carolina rig to a degree, okay? Not the exact same way, but that was how we were kind of catching them on it. With live scope and everything else, it's more of a vertical deal, or not so much, it's more for in-place type of action, right? So the spinner rod definitely comes into play. Now, spinner rods have come a long way since then, but this isn't really a video about the spinner rod. It is to a little bit, because I'm going to show you the setup that I like to throw. I'm telling you the setup I like to throw, and you might be like, man, you're not the finesse guy. Exactly. However, I really don't lose a lot of fish, and I can catch a lot of fish on it. So, you know, maybe I got something. Plus, I tend to catch a lot of big fish on this thing because that's my problem with the spinning rod. It was always used for like catching numbers sometimes, and man, I don't use it for that. I want to catch big ones as well. I just have to use this application. So here we go. This is really what I wanted to share with y'all. The new bait by Strike King. Okay. I always thought the Dream Shot was like the best drop shot bait there was, and I still think it is. But I know there was a worm, like there's times for a worm, and usually the time for it is like the summertime, right? A bigger worm. Plus, I wanted something that's gonna catch bigger fish. Usually a bigger worm catches bigger fish. I mean, it's plain and simple. But for years, this is what we did. We just got trick worms, right? We got trick worms. Now, there were some other companies that made some good baits, some good worms. I wasn't this guy that was going around trying to figure all that out, right? Like, I didn't know the West Coast drop shot, perfect little worm somewhere that I had to go get, you know, that was hand poured, right? That wasn't my style. Now we got something like that. This is it. I'm bringing out this color, right? But this is Strike King's new filler worm. These are them. And I mean, I only got 4 colors right now, to be honest with you, because that's all they sent me. Because I asked for a whole bunch more, and they didn't have them. Now, this one's really full, this one's really full. I only got a couple packs of that. That used to look like this. That's how many I had of that. That's the color I'm throwing. That's what I've been doing. Red bug, filler worm, and the way they poured this thing, the way it moves, staying horizontal, it's a fish catcher. It just is. And now Strike King makes one, and they did a phenomenal job on it, like a really good job. I wouldn't be talking about it. Y'all know me. I don't sit around there and tell y'all, oh, go check this out. This thing catches them. I've like been thoroughly impressed. Now, I don't know how I'm gonna do this because I've got a video series coming out because I've only had this for a couple weeks now. And I've used it just about in every tournament and kind of smoked on them. So I'm gonna show you small clips of me catching some on it. It's gonna be real quick and to the point because these might show up later. Okay, so for right now, here they are. So basically, this is literally going to be my first ever cast. My first ever cast, basically, with this filler worm is right here. I'm in a tournament. I really don't want to talk about what tournament it is because, like I said, I got a series coming up. This is my first ever cast with it. This is my second cast. Had to get the first cast out of the way. Never want to catch one on your first cast, right? Isn't that what they always said? This is actually my first fish of the day as well. So I'm pretty jacked up. One, because it's a tournament. I'm really not even thinking about the bait at the time. I'm just thinking about like laying this fish for one. Oh, little drop shot. That might work. First flip on it. I don't know if it's that easy, but it's pretty awesome. All right, so that was a couple weeks ago. All right, so this is not too long ago actually. I've already caught quite a few fish on it now, but I haven't really done it too much in practice. This is in practice for an event. I'm still trying to dial it all in, right? Every lake's different. I'm kind of messing around with it. And to be honest with you, I usually don't even set the hook most of the time in practice, but I'm really was like, am I gonna catch any big ones doing this? That's kind of what I was worried about. So I did catch a couple. This is like my third or fourth one. After this one, I took the hook off and shook them off for the rest of the day. It was insane. And you see me like I'm marking, like I'm finding all new stuff, right? Now the problem is I hear a boat coming down the boat lane. That's a boat lane right there. And so I don't really want anyone seeing me catch a fish. So like right here, I open up the bail and just let it free spool so it doesn't look like I'm fighting a fish. And then you see me start reeling again. I clicked it over, and I'm a bad habit. I just always look around. I don't trust anyone. I already knew it was a big one before I ever saw it, so I wasn't worried about it. But now I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, if I'm gonna catch fish like this, I'm gonna be all right. I'm making sure no one can see me because I'm like, let's show the camera. All right, so now I'm actually day one of the tournament. I've already caught some fish, so yeah, I got faith in it now. It'll catch a big one. I don't know if my buddy Russell does, but I do. I really didn't think it was that big at the, and then when it jumps, I'm like, oh, yeah, it's gonna be a big one. Now I actually start, because it really wasn't fighting at first. Now it's starting to really fight. That little drop shot action. I do. I love that too. Look, I threw right on him. Isn't that crazy? I was like, man, there's a good chance he's got it. Look at that hook, dude. Look at that hook, how he hooks it, dude. Get way up in there. All right, you saw all that. The thing catches him. I mean, like I said, I've only had it for a couple weeks, and it's probably why I've had a spinning rod in my hand. It's why this photo was taken of me, and I put it on social media, and I mean, yeah, the comments started pouring in, right? Because they're like, what's Todd doing with the spinning rod? Well, I'm catching fish on it. I'm just saying. So this is the worm. This is all I'm throwing on it. Is this filler worm. It's phenomenal, right? I'll share the link in my description for Omnia. Hopefully they got some. Yeah, I'll check them out. The setup, what do I got? Got a 1/2 ounce weight, right? You can go all kinds of different weights. Strike King makes drop shot weights. They're perfect. If you don't know how, I don't really know how else to use this thing. And what I mean by that is this. I'm gonna show you all real quick. Let me get that line out of there. What's really cool is when you have this drop shot, and I'll explain how to tie one up, but I just run it through that slit right there, and that way you, okay, and then I just double back through it the same way I went in. And when I pull it tight, it kind of cinches up in there, it ain't going nowhere, okay? So that's how easy it is to do that, and really to get rid of it, I can just probably pull it, and it's gonna break like that right there at the knot, and then I can do it again if I want to make it shorter or anything like that. That's how I've always done them, because it's so, I mean, come on guys, it's simple and quick. I'll usually have, you know, I don't go into how much of a leader, like I said for this one, and I can do it again real quick, or I'll just do it real simple to show y'all. I'm not going into that crazy detail about how long it has to be, but something like that, something a foot, 1.5 feet is usually what I like, just because of castability and stuff like that. I don't know how much it matters when it comes to actual, like, are the fish gonna, they've done some stuff about you need a higher one at certain times of the year and stuff like that. Man, you can get by with just that, right? About 1 foot, 12, 16, 18 inches at the most, something like that. This is what I've been throwing. The Pro TI Team Loose Speed Stick. It's their CT1. That's the rod. It's a 7 foot medium power, action fast, just feels good in the hand. I like this. It's no cork or anything like that, man, just a good feeling. And then they got the Team Loose Hyper Mag 200 reel. This is what I've been going with. This right now, since I will say, this is 12 pound Sunline Plasma. This is usually like my main line. And then I'll usually put 8 to 10 pound Sunline Sniper. Now this is 10 pound, but I'm on Toledo Bend, right? That's where I just got back from. And if you saw, guys are catching 30 pounds at Toledo Bend. You know, we had 20 pounds. I caught a couple big ones on this setup. So yeah, I'm going to make sure, I don't think 8 to 10 pounds, it's not crystal clear water out there. And plus, I mean, there's stumps out there, there's brush piles. We're catching freaking giants on it. I want to make sure 10, I'm going to go 10, right? I think I can get away with 10 pound. All right, this will be probably the most controversial hook. I just know how it is. And the reason I know that is I was asked about this, okay? Even the cameraman was like, is that the hook you normally throw? I'm like, yeah, here it is, okay? This is the hook. Everyone's gonna be like, wait a minute, just an offset hook? Yes, just an offset hook. Here's why, here's what I got. I already know which ones they are. Oh, that's not them, I'm wrong. Where are they? Where are they? There they are. Let me get another one so I can show y'all. We're Texas rigging these. Like I said, we're throwing around a lot of cover. So a whole bunch of cover at Toledo Bend. So I'm just Texas rigging them. Coming through like that. What I normally do, same deal. I'll come through, put it in. Now, to me, that's about as clean as you can get. To me, that looks good. Here's what I'll say about that. Obviously y'all know me. I don't listen to what everyone else says, to a degree. I'll get some of their hooks, I'll try them, this and that, whatever. Over time though, I've been out on the water and I'd run out of those hooks or do whatever. Started using these hooks one time. I did it a long time ago. I think I made a video about it. We were catching like 6 to 8, 9 pounders. It was insane, the big ones. Never lost any. I was going, okay, well then next thing I know, go out there again. Never lost any. I look up, a year, 2 years, 3 years go by. I really don't lose any. And everyone's like, man, that drop shot kind of scares them sometimes with this and that. And I'm like, I don't worry about the drop shot. I don't lose any on that. What's the big deal? I've always said, if you come to me with something that's like, hey, this is where I throw, and then you show me the results, right? Like, hey, come with me, let me show you. And next thing I know, I'm with you and you don't lose any fish. You don't miss any, like everything's going as planned. I'm like, yeah, I don't know what those guys are talking about over there, but this seems to work really good. I'll believe you. I'll go. All you got to do is show me some results. So that's all I had to do. Next thing I know, I don't lose any. I don't hardly lose any. I don't remember losing fish on a drop shot. I'm not going to change. I don't know why I'd ever change. That hook has been a staple in owners' hooks for years. What, it's all of a sudden not a good hook anymore? Right? Oh, it's only a good hook for Texas rig worms, but it's not going to be a good hook for Texas rig drop shot? No, I don't believe that stuff, right? Guys, I like to keep it somewhat simple in things. This is what I do. This is my setup for in tournaments. You can see this is what I've caught all my fish on in the last couple, not just the last couple weeks. I'm talking about the worm in the last couple weeks. I'm talking about just my setup for a couple years now, because before I was throwing the dream shot, and I will throw the dream shot. I'm probably going to throw this more in the summertime. That's all I'm going to say. That's why this video is coming out right now. Anyways, that's my drop shot setup, filler worm exclusive. Man, y'all don't roast me on the comments, please. Right? Hey, if I can make a buck or two throwing it, I'm gonna throw it. Plus, I like it. Catches me some fish. All right, see you guys.